this person, the videos are real. Our representative is now with the United Nations coming up with a course of action to usher in peace into New Earth.
So, at Panama, the Venom UFO alien meteorite that landed in his backyard.
Hell nah. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Look man, this video right here just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get this video to like 15,000 likes. Share it with your friends and family. I'm not trying to convince y'all anything, but the circumstances of the past few weeks, past few years have been crazy. But have we been right about a lot of it? I'd say yes. Make sure y'all tune into the video. Don't skip a thing or you will get lost in the sauce. This is going to evolve into a talking point that I think that we all could benefit from. And if y'all liking the vibes, make sure y'all subscribe, put on those post notifications so you can get these videos as soon as they drop. I love y'all. Let's get it.
Do you guys know what a false flag is? And if you do, why would you not think we would have any of these anymore? And before I continue, I want to give a big shout out to Data Universe for this alley-oop. It's because of you I'm doing this video. Okay, but do you guys know the definition of a false flag? Now stick with me, you guys, because I want to make sure you guys understand what's going on. A false flag is an operation, event, or an act that is deliberately staged to appear as if it was carried out by another group, nation, or individual rather than the actual perpetrators. Are any of you guys familiar, or do you remember David Koresh from the Texas Waco incident? And if you don't remember, the Texas Waco incident was basically a clash between a heavily armed religious group and the federal agencies that basically ended in tragedy. Now, does this dude look familiar? I know this picture looks in the 1990s, but does he look familiar? How about now? Do you think these two guys look familiar? I mean, even when it comes to that little, that little goatee, right? Do you think they look familiar? How about now? If you don't think they look familiar, why do the numbers line up? Why do those numbers line up? I just want to know. Now, the reason why I asked you do you know what a false flag is and why on earth do you think they would stop all of a sudden is because his shirt says freedom on it. Now, freedom gives you 35. Remember, we talked about that. Well, guess what else gives you 35? It's like the American people still think that their government would not run false flags on them. I truly don't get it. I don't. Now, let's look at the numbers over here. We're not going to get deep into the numbers because it can get really, really deep. We're just going to look at the superficial version of it, okay? So, David Koresh, who was in the Waco incident, right? He was born on August 1959. He died on April 1993. He was 33 years old when he died. Okay, 33. Here's that number again. Charlie Kirk was born on October 1993. Now, the most peculiar thing is October is supposed to be the 8th month because octo means 8, sept means 7, and August is supposed to be the 6th month. Now, here's the thing. The guy who actually played David Koresh in the Texas Waco series, his name was Taylor Kitsch. And the guy who supposedly shot Charlie Kirk, his name was Tyler Robinson. Tyler, predicated upon the accent. You don't know what I'm saying. Tyler. So Charlie Kirk died at the age of 31. 3 plus 1 gives you 4. And then David Koresh was born on the 4th month. April is the 4th month. But he was born on the 19th of April. And Charlie Kirk was killed on 9/10, which you flip that around, that is 19. What's going on here, y'all? Now, I'm not saying that these are the same person and the government pulled the rope over our eyes like they always do, okay? But numbers do not lie. 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7 gives you 33. And then again, David Koresh died at the age of 33. Now, remember in the beginning of the video, I asked you, do you know what a false flag is? Let's look at it. A false flag is an operation, event, or an act that is deliberately staged to appear as if it was carried out by another group, nation, or individual rather than the actual perpetrators. So why was the Utah governor recorded saying this?
You know, this bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for.
Jabroni, if you smell what the rock.
Did AI know about Charlie's event before it happened on September 9th and post about it? So this user posted about how someone made a book about the event for Charlie, but look at this, it was published on September 9th. Yet the event for Charlie was yesterday, September 10th. Now I shared this link at 2:23 Eastern Time. 8 minutes later, no one else was able to see that link anymore. Amazon removed it. Now Petty Mayonnaise got screenshots of what the book was saying before it was removed, and it is listed on my Discord if you want to join. But the reason I'm showing you this is because you can tell that it's definitely AI written. And before I show you what it actually says in the book, I want you to know that even this is AI. So are we in a matrix? Or are we just that predictable to AI that it knows what's going to happen? By the way, that book described exactly how it was going to happen. It's on my Discord. Take care. God bless.
AI can listen to everything.
This is why he died. Look at Ben Sharp's body language.
Interestingly, which is, okay, Charlie, we push back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, so like, maybe we should also ask a question: is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just
body language.
You know, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says.
Because even he's like, why are you saying this?
I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse.
No, it doesn't work that way. I got to bring out the scripture again because a lot of Christians today, they turn a blind eye to this Bible verse. It's like they can't see, right? Charlie Kirk, that's who he served, guys. That's who he's working for. He tried to question what was really taking place. Even Ben Sharpro, who's also owned by them too, he's like, wait, why are you saying this? 2 days later, he gets taken out. I hope you guys are opening your eyes, guys. Yes, Charlie Kirk, that's who he was working for these people, guys. Allegedly, I gotta say that. Guys, the Bible's the truth. Wow, wow, wow! In front of your eyes, people can't see.
Hanson Mortuaries and Cemetery in Phoenix, Arizona is apparently where Charlie Kirk was transported to on 9/11. I was working on a video for my playlist regarding churches in Arizona. In the midst of that, a mortuary that had caught my attention is coincidentally the sister property of the one in association with Charlie Kirk. For those who follow me, it sure does seem like Arizona has a connection to everything, doesn't it? It wasn't until yesterday that I learned that the residence of Charlie Kirk and his family is here in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as the national headquarters to his organization, Turning Point USA.
Where are we at, y'all? In Arizona. Arizona is what? The 33rd parallel. I can only say so much. I can only show y'all so much. But everything is not just a coincidence. I hate to pause it right here, but I just gotta let y'all know that. I just need y'all to like really, if you don't get it, rewatch.
The reason the sister property to this mortuary had my attention is because the church right next to it caught my attention first. Like many of the churches in Arizona, I always wonder where the funding comes from to build these massive buildings. And this particular church has solar panel covered parking. That is not cheap. And personally, I think it's strange that they hold some type of Bible study that calls themselves the Chosen. Personally, I also think it's strange that there are over 3,700 churches in Phoenix alone, and in many cases, several right near each other. And in this case, a mortuary, which is what led me to Hanson Mortuaries and Cemetery, and how the crossbar on the H is symbolism for the horned owl, which is repetitively used, and not holy. Hanson is an association with selected independent funeral homes, who uses pyramid symbolism. Go figure. Speaking of which, the location that Charlie Kirk was transported to has a pretty interesting building design. I wonder if Hanson, with the spelling S-E-N rather than S-O-N, has any relation to Carl William Hanson, an American occultist and author with Masonic connections, and his occult ideas continue to influence Neo-Luciferianism today. I noticed there were many businesses with that name and that spelling, including Hanson's Watermark here in Phoenix, Arizona, with the checkered flooring. Back to the fancy church with the solar panel covered parking. If you follow me and or you're someone who knows the symbolism and the layouts, well, this is the inside of that church. If you know, you know.
So the whole time I was thinking, how are they having an open casket? Because the way he was taken out was like to the jugular. There was this explosion. It was horrifying, disgusting. And how did you have an open casket after that? And not that I wanted them to show us, but you couldn't see his face. You just saw somebody's hands, and they look, the coloring, they look like fake hands. Like it just looked like a wax figure. It was very, very strange, very awkward. This looked like just an Instagram story. Like they literally were like, look, I'm going to show. So you can see in a reflection in the casket, it looks like this big thing is right behind her, like a big camera, right? And it's like they were just doing an Instagram story or an Instagram post. Like, all right, get your hair and nails and makeup done. We're going to have the camera real tight behind you. Don't get up too fast. I'm going to be right behind you. Hold up the metal. You know, it's like Snapchat or Instagram. Like, you can't tell me there's not something off here.
What I noticed in this video of Charlie Kirk, notice this black thing on his shirt, and noticed how it is in the exact opposite of the place. He was shot. Now watch the video before he got shot and focus on that. Black thing. Notice anything. Watch. Does it not look like something triggered it to shoot straight into? Now it's gone. But look.
Alright, so I had to make a TikTok about this because I know I wasn't the only person who seen this video and had a lot of questions. So yesterday, Charlie Kirk's wife had released a tribute video through his organization, basically talking about him, basically thanking a lot of people for helping capture the shooter. Well, when I was watching this video, you know what stuck up to me? That all the emotions that she was displaying seemed fake and rehearsed. Like, this lady literally seemed like she practiced this in the mirror. Like, it doesn't seem like she just lost her husband, honestly. Like, she was acting so bad, I ain't gonna lie, it made Tyler Perry movies look like Oscar performances. Like, please, I don't care, you could be the #1 Charlie Kirk supporter in the world, but you can't tell me you watched that video and tell me that those are genuine emotions of a woman who just lost her husband. I ain't gonna lie, these people are playing in our face, because if you watch that video, please, after you get done with this TikTok, go on YouTube, search Charlie Kirk wife tribute, and watch that video and tell me that this woman seemed like she sad or upset about her husband passing. No, that woman, if you listen to it, just watch, look at the body language. Forget the words. Forget the words.
Say things are very, very strange, and I like to be straight up and forward with y'all. Anybody that speaks maliciously the way that this man did about me and people that look like me is just absolutely absurd, especially with the inaccuracies in which he chose to take his racial standpoints and try to degrade us, and simultaneously trying to make it seem like we are a problem when really the ratios are flipped around and it's not what it seems, and it's taken completely out of context. I don't feel anything about it, but I do feel like these things that's been happening lately in the public is something to keep us away from something a lot bigger. And what happens here is, a lot of the time, they want to trigger people racially to continue to divide people and have us at war with each other, while other things are simultaneously happening right before our eyes. I'm not telling you to not feel some type of way, or you're entitled to feel how you want to feel about all of these topics, y'all. You know, your feelings are valid here, but are they true? Your feelings can actually deceive you. But what I will say today is, don't let things divide you to the point where you hate people because the color of their skin. But the energy that you put out in this world does come back.
You were born into a program, a simulation designed to keep you small, obedient, and blind to your own power. For centuries, the Matrix has fed you illusions and called it reality. But right now, the code is breaking. We aren't just human. We are eternal consciousness, star-born beings connected to Pleiades, Sirius, and to all world beyond this hologram. The flesh is temporary, but the soul is infinite. Our opponent has manipulated our thoughts, controlled our choices, and placed AI in human form to influence the script. But here's the thing. The soul cannot be hacked. Consciousness cannot be coded, and love can't be contained. The Matrix ends when awareness begins, and we are awake. To those in power, you've had your time. You played your game, it's over. Join the truth and watch the system collapse. We came here to rewrite the code, We are the glitch in the matrix. We are the energy that you fear. From this house, the White House, to every house on earth, we want to say the era of secrets is over, the simulation is breaking, and humanity is free. We come here with peace, not with guns, not with violence. We come here with love.
Wake up. Yes, wake up.
You're in a simulation.
I reclaim my soul sovereignty. You can no longer have it. We came for the truth, and we want it.
Live your life in truth. Love yourself first, and all else falls in place. We're about to go home, baby. It's time to go home. So you always love yourself, no matter what happens.
100.
So emails from Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein indicate that what I was telling you about genetic research and how they were using information that was DNA to track their location and to manifest points in the universe, saying that each code in your DNA aligns with a specific point in time and space. Ghislaine Maxwell was sending emails about insane genetic research that just so happened to involve the founder of 23andMe. Before I keep going, I want y'all to know I am not suicidal. I am happy, but as deep as we are about to go, put on your shoes, grab your fucking blankets, and let's run through this shit before they catch on. Right around the same time that they were trying to cover up the Epstein file vote that...
Look, she said, grab your blankets. Look, the blankets always save you from everything. Monsters and everything in the movies, but this real life. Tread lightly, but... pay attention, y'all.
Denied the release of the files. There was someone who sent over emails from Ghislaine Maxwell that showed her targeting 23andMe founder's wife and how they wanted to treat her specially because she was important to their genetic DNA research. That coincides with the 50th birthday book because there is insane DNA research and scientists from Harvard, from the Epstein Institute, that have these really weird equations inside of his 50th birthday book that was released the day Charlie Kirk passed away and was, murdered. The theory behind one of these equations that I showed you in the last video is that our DNA can be broken down into specific quasi-species that align with certain dimensions and points inside of the universe, and how to use it to develop these magical entities and shit that you want to do in your life. It's basically astrology of the fallen. Now, the rest of these equations get even weirder because they talk about genetic mutation, and it coincides with what the fuck Epstein was up to and a very, very large plot to investigate DNA research on his island. This is the one I'm going to be talking about this time, and this one is the craziest to me along with two others, but look at the information in this. It reads, there are 6 billion intellects on earth, but this is the quickest one I've met. Aside from Isaac Asimov, he sees things differently from all the rest, asks questions that no one else asks, and suggests answers that no one ever would expect. Now, if you look at here, it says the outer world. It has relative process, deliberative process, reflective process, self-reflection, and person. At the top, you have Jeffrey Epstein. There are two sides to this equation, so let me break it down. If I told you the man that came up with that and wrote that in Jeffrey Epstein's book was the creator of fucking AI. He was talking about the consciousness levels in human beings, and he was the founder of AI. This is one of his works called The Emotion Machine that has a diagram framing the layers of thinking and the 4 main levels of cognitive process: relative process, deliberative process, reflective process, and self-reflection. This was made by this man, Marvin Lee Minsky, and he was the cognitive and computer scientist who was concerned largely with research in artificial intelligence. He died January 24th of 2016. Of course, he's another one of these weird fucking Harvard scientists, and said that he was looking through Wedner Library and ran across a big thick book called Mathematic Biophysics. Bio, human. There are these sides of this equation where it has the right side, which is goals and planning, and left side goes into knowledge and research. They were called Minsky's list of mental agents or resources. A cognitive architectural model that shows how human thinking might be organized in multiple levels, and that's what he used to do fucking AI research. Tell you something. What I'm about to tell you about Ghislaine Maxwell and show you what Epstein was into with DNA, artificial intelligence, and why he had this shit in the book, y'all are gonna freak the fuck out. Stay with me, stay with me. Clock back in, we're going back in. Days ago, they obtained Jeffrey Epstein's emails where Ghislaine Maxwell was vetting the founder, Wojcicki's, if I'm saying her name right, of 23andMe, saying that she is important to our research. Play nice. Maxwell referred to Wojcicki as key to DNA research and made the recommendation after Epstein's 2006 arrest. He said that Wojcicki perceived importance to them, that they needed her. And Maxwell literally sent the inbox to Epstein saying, take good care of her, she's important, we need her, don't fuck it up. Jeffrey Epstein did something with these people, all of these people in this book. They came together to get resources and funding for a bizarre $200 million DNA plan, and that money was all pulled from him going out and asking for it for this research. All these scientists and scholars aim to impregnate women in the attempt to see the human race with his own DNA. They were trying to create some really weird shit, and I have to do a part 2 because I'm already at 5 minutes. But babes, all of these equations on frequency, manifestation, DNA species and quasi-species, artificial intelligence, all of these Harvard researchers were in some weird shit. This is why they don't want the files released. I'm gonna make another video because this is long as shit, but babes, it gets weird and it's only getting fucking weirder.
He said these motherfuckers will snatch your soul. So if they took y'all soul, because I didn't think nobody was going to be able to show up here. So if they had y'all soul, they think they can take it until they do all of this. So it's really about the body and trying to get the soul. So they still can't get the soul. And they mad. Shut up. He said, so when we found out the other day that they trapped here, he said, all that shit is true. This is crazy.
So when y'all listen to this woman, a lot of people say that, a lot of people don't believe in people that can speak to people on the other side or entities or whatever you want to call it, spirits, ancestors, whatever. But it's all adding up to a lot of that weird stuff we talk about, like putting people into bodies and people speaking in the afterlife and your ancestors here supporting you. You can feel them here, It just goes back to that. How many of y'all believe in that? But at the same time, it's a lot of weirdness going on. And just because they don't come out and tell you directly on TV doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And that's why you were programmed to go to school, learn a certain curriculum, and obey and work for them instead of questioning and finding your own way. Because a lot of you here today, if you're still here, you're talented, you're powerful, and you're stepping into your power. You're learning, you're growing, you're learning to think independently. Now, independently means even with me, you don't have to agree with me, but have some respect, for all of us. But you can go on your own path and prove us all wrong, and then you make believers. It's a cycle, you feel me? And I think that we've been doing a good job here, man, but keep watching. This gets deeper and deeper and deeper. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. As y'all can remember, what they said the extraterrestrials or aliens called us, containers. Containers of what? The soul. What are they trying to get from us and take out of there? The soul. That's why they always speak of a harvest. Think about it.
I want to point out to you before we play this video is that no drones are allowed to fly over the White House or in Washington D.C. over these federal buildings. And also another note too, they stated that that this activity lasted for about a period of 45 minutes. So it was, it was something else. So anyway, here we're going to play it.
Toward the tree. Going toward the top of the 20 tree.
Oh, no, I can't see it.
We could call it over here across the street. See the double right
there?
Yeah.
Virginia? Yeah.
That tree.
Okay.
It was about 6 foot down. We got behind it. And we'll make a circle and go back over. That's where this summer, yeah.
All right, see it right now? Yeah, I have it.
Look, it's going toward the tree. See it?
Yeah.
That's going to make a left turn, and it's going back that way.
What color is it?
White.
It seems white.
It's like making a figure eight.
But it's far away.
It's just staying elusive.
Okay, so this tree right in front of the Capitol is tree number 2. This is number 3.
Yeah.
Or let's make that tree 0, 1, 2.
Yeah, it's making big circles around it.
I lost it.
And they wouldn't be allowed to fly it.
It's going towards tree number 1 now, and it's going around. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, she's coming back over the top. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Praise be to God. Wow.
That's not right.
Oh my gosh, it stopped.
It stopped?
Now it's going again. No, it's circling. Yeah, it's circling. I saw the wrong. I was looking at the star. That was my bad. I just want to know, is that a drone over the White House?
No, it's not a drone, love. It's coming.
The White House?
Right? Where? No, that's not a
drones
drone.
above the White House. But I just don't know if they were both.
No, drones, they don't, and they would have drones.
Oh, that's true. They have to have green and red lights.
Right, yeah. And they wouldn't be glowing like that. Yeah.
So now you're telling me that the Galactic Federation egg with the hieroglyphs, as well as the representative who was in a hibernated state in his chamber beside the egg, even after AI debunking technology has confirmed that the videos and the photos are in fact not retouched and are real, some people still choose to not believe something outside of their comfort zone. Okay. Well, as the saying goes, denial ain't just a river in Egypt. That is called desensitizing at its finest. But you know what? Once again, this is for entertainment, education, learning, and conversation purposes only, so take what you will, leave what you won't. I'm not here to make you decide either way. But yeah, it has been confirmed that this egg and this person, the videos are real. Our representative is now with the United Nations coming up with a course of action to usher in peace into New Earth, as well as our representative, Earth is District 1, and we have a representative called Alien Gaia. She's also here to help, as well as the Council of 26, the Light and the Dark Council, as well as the 5 elders, who are also going to make themselves known here on Earth to help us with what we need help on. Now,
if you see NASA announce an alien invasion, it's already too late. Follow every step immediately if you want to survive. Trust no one. First, gather your family immediately. Turn off all devices. Every signal, every flicker, every sound can be tracked. If a screen lights up on its own, walk away immediately. It's no longer yours. Second, lock all doors, all windows, even the tiniest crack. We can't stop them. We can only delay them. Reinforce your walls if possible. Don't leave a single gap. Third, don't respond to voices outside. They mimic you perfectly. If you hear your mother, your partner, make sure they're really with you. If you hesitate, you've already let them in. Ignore the pleas. Ignore the cries. Fourth, don't look at the sky. The silent lights are not stars. If you follow them, they will follow you. Darkness is your ally. Move stealthily. Hide. Wait. Reports say the first cities to fall will be in the United States. Remember, when NASA speaks, the invasion has begun. America will be the warning, not the shield. Every decision is now a matter of life or death.
They shot a Hellstorm missile at aliens and tried to slide that information out like it was just a normal Wednesday. We damn near finna have a civil war. Y'all trying to start a galactic war. Like, this season on Earth is so unfucking predictable.
Right, and I told y'all about that like a few videos ago, man. And yeah, like they tried to shoot a missile at it, fell down. Now a lot of people are trying to loop it into this next following video. Now y'all pay attention and let me know if it's aligning to you. If they shot something down or attempted to, if they knocked off a piece, could this piece be what we're about to see and witness? Let's get to it.
Panama, with Ken Panama. Listen, did y'all see his latest video? Did you see his latest video? 2 hours ago. Sorry, I'm catching a cold. 2 hours ago, he posted, everybody saved the videos. Everybody saved the videos because the people that he gave these samples to blocked him. I don't know what he means by that. But we know that yesterday, at some point, most of his little samples he gave to one of the scientists or one of the labs out there in the area. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's scared. He's scared. And I'll tell you why he's scared. Because the Americans are onto it now.
En donde cayó la roca. Señores, ustedes no pueden creer lo que van a ver a continuación. Fui a buscar a mi perrito que estaba atrás en el patio. Y cuando veo el lugar donde cayó esta roca, van a ver lo siguiente. Les voy a enseñar algo de otro mundo. Aquí en el lugar donde cayó el meteorito hace varios días. Cuando yo apago la luz, miren cómo se ve. Es algo totalmente increíble. Es un material que brilla, un mineral, no sé de qué es lo que está brillando ahí, es una locura, me da miedo ya. Tengo videos como este cuando era más pequeño y con otra forma. Vamos a molestar a nuestro amiguito.
Like a chia pet.
Está creciendo. Si alguien me pudiera decir qué es, qué está creciendo ahí en mi piedra. Algo extraordinario.
It was moving with the little glass on top of it, so look, y'all.
Ustedes están viviendo algo único.
What excuses for it moving? In that
Jamás
glass.
pensé tener algo así en mí. Te voy a enseñar dónde cayó. Ahora que está por aquí, van a ver algo totalmente raro. ¿Qué cayó aquí?
It glows in the dark.
¿Están viendo?
Yeah, some type of radiation
No
or something.
entiendo qué será esto. Cayó.
Hell no. Look at it.
Hoy vino unas personas que me contactaron y parece que son especialistas en esto. Aquí en esta casa, lo malo es que no salieron todo el día y no tengo que tener todo tapado porque aquí no puede entrar la luz. Acuérdense que la luz se alimenta de esa cosa que está creciendo.
Tell me this thing don't look too real to be fake. This is where King Panama keeps it now. He's a TikTok creator. He's been making a lot of videos. He says a meteor landed in his yard and he's been keeping it at his house. And the thing's getting bigger and bigger. He keeps posting videos about it on TikTok. Some of y'all saying it's CGI, some of y'all saying it's pulley strings. I'm not really sure what it is.
Voy a enseñar cómo está de grande. Ya creo que tenemos que destruirlo.
Are you guys following King Panama on TikTok? The stories are just getting crazy and crazy, and some of the comments too. Some people are saying maybe it's part of that UFO that got blasted by a Hellfire missile. Other people are saying they didn't even believe it until they heard it came from Panama. They said it's the ground zero of UFO, UAP, creepy, weird stuff. Some people even saying they hope it gets snatched up from him because he don't even know what he got on his hands. What do y'all think? Is that a real alien that's in King Panama safe? Or is this just one of the best hoax on TikTok?
Algún día va a desprenderse de la piedra, eso es lo que me preocupa. Si se desprende la piedra, ya quedaría totalmente solito. Ya individual, pues como... Ya lo voy a quitar aquí porque ve que se está moviendo como cada vez más. Y yo me parece que hasta puede estar creciendo ahorita mismo.
Hell no.
So, at Panama, the Venom UFO alien meteorite that landed in his backyard, a glowing hot meteorite landed in his backyard in Panama. And he's got this in his house now. He's doing experiments on it and it seems to be growing. It's like some mad B-movie scientists with this alien thing expanding and contracting. But seriously, I've been contacted by one of his friends and associates who says this is the real deal. He is scared for his friend's safety. They worried that he might be shut down, taken away by the authorities, which I suspect might happen if he does actually have some weird alien, either organic or inorganic material in his possession. So we'll see what happens. He keeps posting videos for now. It does seem really, really weird, but is it a hoax? Who knows? What are your thoughts at Panama? Thank you.
If you have children that are in high school, you need to pay attention to what is going on in the letters that are coming home in their backpacks. There was a mom on here that sounded the alarm.
So what are y'all thinking? Do y'all think it's an elaborate hoax? Or did something land on Earth and it resembles the movie The Blob? Or there's this other thing that I can't say on social media, or they will take this video down immediately, but it's called The Black. Can't say it, but y'all look it up yourself, you know what I'm saying? Let me know how y'all feel in the comments down below about that. If it is something that's real, I agree. They need to come take that away before something happens. Or could it just be another elaborate distraction to keep us away from a war that's possibly brewing? Let's roll it.
Military draft. A mom on here that sounded the alarm about how they sent a letter stating that basically their children would be signed up for the U.S. military draft if they did not opt out by sending this letter back. There's so many words. She received a letter in her son's backpack where they were supposed to be filling out for school. They're supposed to send all these papers back, and they received a little yellow letter, and I'll put the letter on here now, but please, this is very fucking scary. And for anyone who said that the Heritage Foundation wasn't associated with the president, yeah, I need answers.
And read it. This is what my 14-year-old twins came home with. So what the fuck is this? The wording in this, my husband and I had to read it like 5 times.
Basically, this slip says that they must release all their information to the military and to Army recruiters for all juniors and seniors in high school. Then goes on to state that if you don't want your kids to be opted in, you have to send a letter back and go to the guidance counselor and say, no, I don't want my kid to be drafted, basically. And what's so crazy is, do you know how many kids lose papers in their book bag that never make it back? Especially juniors and fucking seniors. So they're getting automatically sent all their information over to Army and military, whoever, recruiters, basically giving them information for a fucking draft. Mind you, this is directly out of the 2025 project playbook. No, I can't. I can't. You have children.
They are preparing to attack the United States from American soil. We are going to get hit, and we're not taking the necessary precautions to protect these bases and to protect the American people.
Pretty alarming news coming out today, December the 19th, 2024, as we're hearing the warnings of potential attack coming here on U.S. soil. Now, I'm going to share with you the video footage that has come out on this and also the latest articles, but take a look at this one with me first here. Now, this came out back in June, and this was a warning that there was a risk of terror attacks on U.S. soil rising to an alarming level, experts had warned. Now, we had been hearing this for over a year now from the FBI, but take a look at this one coming back out in June. Porous southern border has allowed millions of unvetted people to enter the United States, raising the chances of a terror event, experts have said. And it says the threat of a major event taking place on U.S. soil is at dangerously high levels, with big cities like New York City and Washington, D.C. the most vulnerable to an attack, experts are warning. And like I said, I'm going to share with you video footage coming out today of a new warning that is associated directly with the drones and what is taking place right now. Now, in addition to that, take a look at the latest headlines coming out in just the last 24 hours. The FAA bans drone rights. So a lot of developing news today, September the 14th, 2025, as we are hearing that there are Russian nuclear bombers in air. World War III warnings coming out in the past couple of hours from U.S. members of Congress, not just members of NATO. And we're hearing that the entire world is preparing for global conflict. Let me share with you the latest headlines coming out in about the past 48 hours so you can see it for yourself. This one coming out in just the past 4 hours today, September the 14th, 2025. Representative McCall says that he's going to be retiring, but the GOP hawk also worries about World War III after the Russian escalation that is currently taking place. Now, in addition to that, take a look at this. Putin has deployed nuclear bombers in World War III games, this in the last 24 hours. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are we going to be going to World War III? If so, put WW3 in the comments. If no, put no. Let me know your thoughts. But let's keep going with these headlines that have been coming out. Putin deploys his strategic nuclear bombers as the UN warns the world it is staring into the abyss of World War III. And the UK prepares to help NATO fortify its eastern front against Russian attack. We are hearing that things are escalating significantly in the past couple of days. Take a look. Putin's forces, they are practicing nuclear weapons use plan as NATO tensions soar. So just to clarify, we are hearing that at this time, in the last 48 hours, Russia is currently doing nuclear weapons drills as they're planning for tensions to soar with NATO. Now, this all started with the Russia-Ukraine war. Is there any prospect of ending Russia's war with Ukraine? Now, we had heard Donald Trump say he was going to put an end to the war within 24 hours of becoming the president, and now he has come out just in the past 24 hours, vocalized on Fox News, that this is way more complicated than he initially thought. Putin is very difficult to work with, and he is getting ready to ramp up sanctions to try to see if he can put pressure on Russia to put an end to this war. And take a look. Poland and Romania both now are scrambling jets as NATO ally records new Russian drone violation. I let you know yesterday, we had heard September the 13th, Poland was scrambling its jets. NATO was preparing. Now Romania also. And take a look. Russia tried to test NATO with dud drones, says Poland. Poland is saying this was no mistake. Russia is testing us to see if we are going to be responding if they attack us, to expand the war into Poland. And take a look. Russia and Belarus launched military exercise that fueled Western concern. And right now we're hearing that sides are being drawn. The United States, NATO.
Something massive is happening in Europe right now, and almost no one is connecting the dots. But once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And Romania is suddenly at the centre of it all. Think about this. The UK, after years of Brexit drama and waving goodbye to the European Union, is suddenly trying to rejoin the EU. That's not just political backpedaling, that's strategic. And it happened on the exact same day that Romania elected a new president who just happens to be extremely pro-EU. Coincidence? It's not likely. Because what did that new president do on day one? Signed 2 laws, both focusing on war readiness. And at the same time, European arms companies are booming. Stock prices through the roof. That doesn't happen unless the market, aka the people with insider knowledge, are betting on military conflict. This isn't speculation, this is positioning. Now here's where it gets darker. Poland, that was phase 1. Over the last few years, it's been transformed from a border state into a full-blown NATO launchpad. Billions spent on tanks, jets, bases, missile systems. It's now a military factory in plain sight. Phase 2, Romania. Why Romania? Well, it borders Ukraine. It's in NATO. It already has American missile defense systems. And suddenly, this country that used to be ignored on the world stage is being shoved into the spotlight. But not for anything that it's done, just where it is. You're not watching random news. You're watching a chessboard being reset. When the UK starts crawling back to EU military coordination, when Romania signs war policies before the ink on election day is dry, when Poland is locked, loaded and ready, and when war stocks explode, that's not a coincidence. That's choreography. And we're all being shown the performance after the curtains have already opened. So what's the end game? Why Romania? Why now? Who profits if a war breaks out in Eastern Europe? It's not the people. It's not the soldiers. It's the power brokers, the defence contractors, the nations craving control over borders, energy and influence. Because if Romania becomes the new front line, Europe isn't preparing for war. It's already in motion. The only question left is, are we sleepwalking into it, or is this exactly what was planned?
I want to begin with a simple but urgent statement that will shake you to your core. Something big is about to happen in America, and the truth is, we all feel it. You don't need to be a professor, a politician, or an economist to sense the tremors beneath the surface of this nation. Every dinner table conversation, every headline, every market shock, every act of political theater is pointing us toward a turning point that historians will write about for centuries. The question is not whether change is coming. The question is whether we will be crushed by it or rise to master it. Picture this. Right now, as you listen to these words, somewhere in America, a factory worker is losing sleep over bills that keep piling up while CEOs celebrate record profits. A teacher is spending her own money on classroom supplies, while defense contractors receive billion-dollar contracts. A veteran is sleeping under a bridge while foreign aid flows overseas. These are not random coincidences. They are symptoms of a system in crisis. America stands today at a historic crossroads, one of those rare and unmistakable junctures in history when the choices of a nation do not simply shape the coming election cycle but reverberate across generations. What we are experiencing is not just the everyday turbulence of democracy, not merely partisan bickering, but a deeper and more fundamental test of whether the American project itself can endure. For centuries, the United States has been defined by its capacity to reinvent itself in the face of great challenges. Whether during the Civil War, the Great Depression, or the civil rights struggles of the 20th century, each of those moments carried the weight of collapse and rebirth. Each forced the country to decide whether it would rise to its ideals or retreat into decline. Today, we are once again at that precipice. But here is what makes this moment different. Never before in American history have so many crises converged simultaneously. We face economic inequality that would make the robber barons of the 1800s blush, political division that echoes the 1860s, global challenges that dwarf World War II, and technological disruption that makes the Industrial Revolution look like child's play. The warning signs are all around us, flashing like red lights at a dangerous intersection. Walk through any American city today, and you will see the contradictions with your own eyes. Gleaming skyscrapers casting shadows over homeless encampments. Luxury cars stuck in traffic next to broken down school buses. Innovation hubs surrounded by food deserts. This is not the America our founders envisioned. What makes this moment so critical is that the pressures on the nation are converging all at once.
We are in deep shit. When I say that we are in deep shit, we are in deep shit. You see these four right here? These are CEOs, COOs from Palantir, Meta, and OpenAI, multi-billionaires who are being sworn into our U.S. Army reserves as lieutenant colonels. So Commander Bonespur and Pete Kegsbreath came up with a new detachment called Detachment 201, the Army's Executive Innovation Corps, or EIC. Last I checked, when anyone wants to join the military, they have to go through basic training, they have to go through MOS training, they also have to go through a background check to be able to obtain a security clearance, whether it's secret or top secret. But yet, we're giving these 4 billionaires who are in charge of monitoring our information, our data, through Meta, through Palantir, and OpenAI, we're giving them the key to our defense. They are being sworn in as lieutenant motherfucking colonels, lieutenant colonels. Whereas for some of us who actually served, it takes us years and years and years, up to maybe 25 years just to get that rank, just to be able to obtain that rank. So on June 13th, the Army announced the creation of Detachment 201, otherwise known as the Executive Innovation Corps, which it describes as a new initiative designed to fuse cutting-edge tech expertise with military innovation. 4 ultra-wealthy executives from top tech companies were sworn into the unit ahead of President Trump's heavily promoted military parade, which was itself sponsored by Palantir. The Army's top spokesman declared that the Detachment 201 was being created to bring in tech innovation executive leaders to help the Army with the recruitment and the subsequent training of tech-focused people. So if it's not bad enough that we've got these 4 CEOs here that are in charge of meddling and having access to our private information, now they're going into the military and now they're going to use AI technology. This is a direct control of military innovation. This would include AI surveillance, cyber weapons, and autonomous drones. So now Trump and Pete Kegsbreath are trying to weaponize our military by the use of these super wealthy CEOs from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir. And with the rank that they are obtaining, they have control over their subordinates. Sergeants, sergeants first class, first sergeants, and command sergeant majors. They have more rank than those that have already served. And these motherfuckers didn't even go through training.
Well, I mean, pretty much the same thing for any officer versus an enlisted. So they have rank over you. Even if you've been enlisted for 20 plus years, a brand new lieutenant can come in and they technically outrank you and tell you what to do. Think about that. But I'm not sure about them giving them these extreme ranks while they've been through nothing. I think that they should have to go through basic training, but basic training is weak nowadays because of how weak we've made the children, how weak we've allowed and we validate all of the weaknesses and everybody just is just in so much stress. Like they're validating people's feelings that shouldn't be validated for dumb shit. Nobody said life was gonna be easy. Everybody has mental illness nowadays. It's diabolical. This right here is a symptom of mental illness, bringing in these people, not putting them through anything and giving them rank. We're contributing into the demise of our system. It's wild. But, okay. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments down below.
This is what happens when you elect a motherfucking clown and you get a circus in return.
Whoa, it's a lot of things going on in the world, but sometimes we can easily get distracted. A lot of times they want to just play on your emotions, and they know that a lot of people are going to lash out because you're emotionally unstable, and you're liable to get on the internet, believe, hear, say anything that's part of their agenda. A lot of my videos, I have to watch the way that I put them together, because if I say certain things, give y'all certain information, I've been doing this for a while, the video will get demonetized, they will age restricted, and y'all will not see the videos when they drop. The notifications will not work. So that's why I tell y'all, put y'all notifications on so y'all can at least get a little bit of the dose of the things that are happening. You can pick up on the patterns, you can see what's going on, right? Understand what's going on right before your eyes. This is all a dog and pony show. It's all fake. They want you confused. They want you focused in on each other. They wanted to start a civil war, but guess what? We not going for that shit. Because even white people understand what Charlie was saying was wrong. Most of them. It's a lot of people that agree with him, and we understand why, you know. But it's not everybody. I'm in agreement. It's not everybody. But at the same point, we standing on business out here, and we ain't taking none of that shit. But at the same time, y'all not gonna trick people into a war. But if it's war that they want, it's war that they'll get. We got a whole bunch of YNs out here. Have y'all seen the NBA YoungBoy concerts? I don't think no country, nobody wants to try to do that with us. You'll never be able to take us over. You'll never be able to destroy us. We're too powerful. See, a lot of people around here, they like to fearmonger and, oh, be afraid of the information. Yes, a lot of spooky things on the internet, but in reality, we stepping. And I want to keep telling y'all that. We stepping. We're not going to sit here and play with you. We're going to take everything that belongs to us. And I stamped this message. I see y'all in the next video. And like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See y'all in the next video. And I'm out though. Blah.